Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're diving into a truly incredible story of transformation. It's a journey that goes from an almost complete standstill to becoming a massive global powerhouse. We're talking about the Indian automotive industry.
So let's just kick things off with one single powerful number. Right now, as we speak, India is the world's third largest car market by production. Think about that for a second. Third on the entire planet. That is a truly staggering achievement.
But here's the twist. This is what makes the whole story so fascinating. Even though it's a top 3 market, only about 8% of Indian households actually own a car. And that one little number, well, that tells you everything you need to know about the absolutely massive, untapped potential we're talking about.
Now, to really understand this paradox, how you can be number 3 in the world but have so few owners, we've got to go back, way back. Back to a time when this automotive giant was, for all intents and purposes, fast asleep.
So, picture this. It's post-independence India. This was an era where choice, at least when it came to cars, wasn't really in the vocabulary. It was a time of heavy government regulation, where if you wanted a car, you had very few options and a very long wait ahead of you.
And the reason for all this? It was a system called the license Raj. You can think of it as this giant, complicated web of government controls and red tape that pretty much strangled any real competition. It created this bizarre situation where way more people wanted cars than there were cars to buy, which meant waiting lists for a new car could literally be years long.
So, after waiting all that time, what could you actually get? Well, for decades, you basically had 2 choices. That's it. You had the Hindustan Ambassador, this icon of the era that was actually based on a 1950s British car, and then you had its only real rival, the Premier Padmini, which was based on an old Italian Fiat. These 2 cars, they literally defined mobility for an entire generation.
But then, everything changed. The whole stagnant market was just shattered wide open. This was it. This was the moment the revolution kicked off, and it would change absolutely everything for car buyers in India.
It was really 2 key things that lit the fuse. First, in 1983, the Maruti 800 showed up. It was a joint venture with Suzuki, and it was a total game changer. It was modern, it was reliable, and, this is the big one, it was affordable for the middle class. Then, in 1991, India's economic policies changed, basically opening the floodgates for global car companies to finally come in and compete. So now you've got the world's biggest and best car makers setting up shop on Indian soil. The huge question on everyone's mind was, could the homegrown Indian companies actually compete? Could they even survive this new wave of global competition?
And the answer was a massive, resounding yes. In 1999, Tata Motors launched the Indica, and it was seen as this incredible fight back. It was the first truly Indian passenger car, and it proved that a homegrown company could build a car for Indians, by Indians, and not just survive, but thrive.
Okay, so building successful cars was one thing, but the next great challenge for the industry was to prove that made in India could also mean safe.
And the transformation on this front is just wow. It's staggering. When a global safety campaign started testing Indian cars back in 2014, the first results were shocking. 0 stars, just a flat 0. But fast forward to today, Indian brands like Tata and Mahindra are actually leading the market in safety, regularly scoring top-tier 5-star safety ratings.
And what's so cool about this is that it was the homegrown champions who really led this safety revolution. Models like the Tata Nexon and Safari and the Mahindra XUV 700. They totally flipped the script on what people thought Indian engineering could do and made safety a massive selling point.
But this story didn't just stay within India's borders. Oh no. As the industry grew stronger and more confident, it started looking outward. It wasn't just building for itself anymore. It was becoming a factory for the entire world.
So now, India plays this really crucial dual role. On the one hand, it's this huge, growing market full of eager consumers. And on the other, it's become a vital hub for global manufacturing, especially for the kind of small, efficient cars that are in demand all over the planet. So who's actually running the show on the ground in India today? Well, Maruti Suzuki, the company that started the revolution, is still at the top. But look who's right behind them, the 2 homegrown champions, Tata and Mahindra, with Hyundai right in the mix. It's this powerful blend of local heroes and global players.
Now check out these export numbers because they are just wild. Maruti Suzuki alone shipped over 330,000 cars out of India in just one fiscal year. And you've got companies like Hyundai and Nissan sending hundreds of thousands more to over 100 countries around the globe. It's massive.
So that's the story so far. But where does it go from here? Well, the industry is already lining up for its next great race, and it's defined by some brand new challenges and even bigger opportunities.
The first huge trend is, without a doubt, the SUV takeover. The Indian car buyer's taste has really shifted. People are moving away from small, basic hatchbacks and toward more aspirational, feature-packed SUVs. I mean, today, they just completely dominate the bestseller lists.
And of course, the next great race is electric. Right now, Tata Motors has grabbed a really strong early lead, but pretty much every major player is scrambling to pivot to EVs. And with strong government support, India isn't just building an electric car market for itself. It's getting ready to be a major exporter of EVs to the rest of the world.
And that brings us right back to where we started, doesn't it? We kicked this off with that tiny 8% car ownership figure. So now, with this huge domestic market just waiting and a leading role on the world stage, the final, biggest question is this. Can India put the next billion people on wheels, and can it do it sustainably?
That's all for this explainer. If you found this journey as fascinating as I did, do me a favor and hit that like button, share it with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.